300 men lay side by side, holding hands in the snow. Flakes kept falling, covering their bodies. They were shaking so hard from the cold, their teeth chattering nonstop. A man in the crowd suddenly shouted, "For a rich wife, I'm all in." Everyone knew that only the ones who made it through winter would have a shot at marrying one of the Sioux family's 2 daughters. The blizzard finally passed. More than 200 ice sculptures were left on the ground, and the 18 men still standing didn't dare relax for a second. Knew there was still one last round before they could enter the Sioux residence. My father numbered the 18 men one by one and had me and my half-sister draw lots to choose our husbands. The men stared nervously at the lot box. Just as I was hesitating, line after line of floating comments suddenly flashed before my eyes. Number 7. Number 7 is Zishuan. Not that butcher, Maybao. Number 7 is Zishuan. Hurry up and pick him. What, are you waiting to draw the butcher? That butcher looks sloppy and gross. He doesn't even look clean. Zishuan is gentle and handsome. He's liked Maybao since childhood. If Maybao marries him, he'll spoil her for life. I believed those comments and chose my childhood friend, Zishuan, as my husband. But on our wedding day, Zishuan grabbed me by the throat, his eyes full of hatred. If you hadn't secretly switched the order of the lots, how could Liuer have ended up marrying someone else? And the butcher my half-sister drew turned out to be the crown prince, traveling incognito. Framed me for adultery and said I was carrying another man's child. Then he kicked my stomach over and over again. I risked my life to run home for help, only to be blocked on the street by my half. Big sister, why keep some child with a shady background? Even my father, who had always doted on me, covered his face and walked away, refusing to acknowledge me as his daughter. In the end, I died out on the street. Only after death did I learn that all those misleading comments had come from my half-sister. Bold red comments kept floating in the air. Half-sister stood behind me, staring hard at the hand I was about to use to draw, her eyes flickering. I only curled my lips into a smile. If she loved marrying a butcher that much, then in this alley, hand, which had been resting on lot number 7, lifted slightly. I saw Su Yuliu's breathing catch. She forced a smile and urged me, "Big sister, why haven't you picked yet? I have a feeling you're definitely going to draw the man you love and marry someone truly good." "Really?" I tugged at the corner of my mouth and moved my hand slowly over to lot number 11. In my last life, this lot belonged to the butcher the crown prince was pretending to be. Su Yuliu's face visibly tightened on the spot. I let out a soft laugh. "Little sister, why do you look even more nervous than I am? Don't tell me there's something wrong with these 2 lots?" Forced a smile. Father arranged all the lots himself. How could there be a problem? This whole city is here for the husband selection today. I heard even butchers and gamblers borrowed money to Jay. That's why I'm a little nervous. Then, which do you think is better, number 7 or number 11? Her eyes flashed, and a bit of delight rose in them. She hurriedly said, "Since you were born in July," nodded like I understood, and the floating comments started rolling again. "Wow, turns out 7 is Maybao's lucky number 2. Pick it already, Maybao. If you miss Zishuan, you'll regret it." Men and tea. Zishuan swore before the Bodhisattva that he'd marry only Maybao. Exactly. If she doesn't pick Zishuan, what is she waiting to draw the butcher? Look, Zishuan is staring at Maybao. Would have thought the one he truly loved was my half-sister. Too bad Su Yuliu was born concubine-born and couldn't be his legal wife. That was why he never asked my father for her hand and waited. Below the stage, he stood there in a cloud-patterned brocade robe, tall and elegant, staring this way without blinking. If I didn't have memories from my last life, I really would have believed he wait. Looking carefully now, the one he was watching was clearly my half-sister, Su Yuliu. I sneered inwardly, my hand gliding back and forth between the 2 lots, deliberately refusing to choose. Su Yuliu was so anxious beside me that cold sweat was dripping down her face. "Big sister, 1 cut if you stick your head out, 1 cut if you don't. If you still won't choose, we're going to miss the..." She's still not picking. Wasn't it supposed to be open to all eligible men in the city? Don't tell me the rich merchant's daughter is getting cold feet now. All timid and hesitant like this. Where's... "Big sister, hurry up and choose!" Su Yuliu tugged at my sleeve. I smiled and pressed her hand down. "In such a hurry, little sister. Why don't you go first?" I took her hand, turned back, and bowed to... "Father, little sister seems eager to marry. Why not let her choose first? Besides, I'm the eldest daughter. How could I let my younger sister pick from what I leave behind?" Su Yuliu's eyes lit up. If she picked first, she could draw the crown prince's lot. Watching the secret smile on her face, I smiled too. She thought she was about to rise to the top. But what she didn't know was that the crown prince never came today at all. Father nodded. "In that case, let Liuer draw first." The moment Father said that, the light in Zishuan's eyes brightened instantly. He lifted his head and stared hard at Su Yuliu. My last life, he had secretly told her in advance that his own lot was number 7, hoping they could become husband and wife. He must have been thrilled out of his mind right then. As long as Su Yuliu picked lot number 7, all those years of waiting would finally pay off. Too bad he was destined to be disappointed. Yu Liu bit her lip, her eyes moving between 7 and 11, then decisively picked lot number 11. Xie Xuan looked like he'd been struck by lightning. His whole body shook, stared at Su Yuliu in disbelief. As if he was afraid he had seen it wrong, he turned his head, rubbed his eyes, and looked at my half-sister again. But the scene in front of him hadn't changed. Yuliu held up number 11 and smiled, completely confident. Have you made your choice? Su Yuliu nodded, but Xie Xuan took a deep breath, let out a roar, and rushed up onto the stage. Wait, how can a marriage be decided this casually? Second miss, why don't you think it over a little longer? Desperately kept signaling Su Yuliu with his eyes, but she acted like she didn't see a thing. Holding the lot in her hand, she smiled with full confidence. No need to make it that complicated.